How are we going, guys? Today we're going to be looking at what is, I think, the hardest topic in Unit 3 networks, and it's Eularian and Hamiltonian networks. There's a whole lot of information on this slide, but what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to skip over that. What I would say, or what I would recommend, is that you do read page 135 in the book, and that's a lot of the information that's here. Just so before you watch this video, you've at least seen the terms before. That might make this process a little bit easier. I'm going to focus on the next slide, which I think is the most important slide, because it condenses a lot of the information really, really well. And I've obviously got some examples here which we're going to look at as well. Okay, so there's two types of networks that we're going to be looking at here. It's Eularian and Hamiltonian. And for any given network, we can give them a, Eularian classification and also a Hamiltonian classification. The Eularian classifications are, completely Eularian, which we would just call Eularian. And if it's not completely Eularian, then it's semi-Eularian. And obviously can be none as well. And if it's Hamiltonian, then it can either be completely Hamiltonian or just semi-Hamiltonian. Okay, so let's start with Eularian. We'll look at all of these networks in terms of their Eularian classification and figure out why they've said Eularian and semi-Eularian. First, let's take a look at this quick sentence here. So you want to travel every edge exactly once and don't mind repeating vertices. That's why it's a trail, because we can repeat vertices if we want to, but we can't repeat edges because we only want to travel them exactly once. So that's why you'll normally see Eularian trail. Okay, the difference between Eularian and semi-Eularian. Eularian trails are closed, so you will start and finish at the same vertex, and semi-Eularian is open, where you'll start and finish on different vertices. So you'll see when I'm doing this one, I probably can't start and finish on the same one after having completed every vertex, every path, or every edge. Okay, well, let's have a look at these examples. So Eularian, for this guy here, I've got my little pen here. It doesn't look like it's going to work. All right. So we want to travel every edge exactly once, don't mind repeating vertices. So we need to start at a particular vertex, make our way around, hitting every other edge, and we can repeat vertices. So if we start, let's say, the pen's not going to work here. Let's say we start here, we can travel up. Sorry, I'm using my mouse, so it's going to be pretty rubbish. We can go through that vertex, that's all good, come back around, and we finish in the same spot. So that is complete Eularian because we started and finished here, and we traveled each edge, and it didn't matter that we went through this vertex. So that's why that particular example is completely Eularian. Now let's look at this example. So the reason why this is semi-Eularian is because, as you'll see, we're going to start and finish at different vertices, having gone through all edges. So I don't know, we'll start at this point here, and with this example, you can probably start and finish at different vertices. I'll give you a heads up. If it's semi-Eularian, chances are you're going to start on an odd vertex. So you can see here this has three edges coming into it, and this one has three edges coming into it as well. So we're probably going to finish on this one. All right. So you'll always start on an odd and finish on an odd vertex in semi-Eularian. So let's start. We'll go, I don't know, around this curve first. Again, sorry, I'm using my mouse, but my pen might work. Across here and then back down. Okay, so we started here, we finished there, we transversed the whole network without repeating edges, and we got all the edges. So that's why that's semi-Eularian. Clearly, this guy over here cannot be transversed without repeating edges, because I guess if we went straight down, we wouldn't be able to come back. So that's definitely not Eularian or semi-Eularian. Now, Hamiltonian. We want to visit every vertex exactly once, and maybe revisiting the same vertex at the start and finish is okay, but outside of that we can't. And we can miss edges. This is the key. This is where I find a lot of students struggle. We can miss edges. That's okay. So, looking at this guy here, so this is saying that it's semi-Hamiltonian. Again, we're going to start and finish on a different vertex, but we need to hit every vertex. We need to visit every vertex. That's the key. So again, maybe you start here. You need to visit every vertex. We can't double up on anything. And done. Semi-Hamiltonian, because we started there and finished on a different vertex. We hit all the vertices, so we ticked off the fact that it was Hamiltonian. So that's why that example is Hamiltonian. Semi-Hamiltonian. And now we've got this example here, which will be Hamiltonian, which means we're going to start and finish on the same vertex. This one's actually really easy. So we're going to start here, and we should start and finish on the same vertex. Just going to go down, across, back up, and we're going to finish there. So we started and finished on the same vertex, which means it was closed, which I said before was Hamiltonian, and we hit every vertex. And then clearly we're not going to be able to do that on this example here. So that's Eularian and Hamiltonian. These two definitions are absolutely key. Much easier than all of this information, but all of this information is obviously the nitty-gritty. This was just a couple of pretty straightforward examples. The networks you see are probably going to be more difficult than this, but this is a good simple example to start. So feel free to watch this video a couple of times to get used to the terminology. Hopefully I haven't made any mistakes. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for listening.